The weather today in Los Angeles, it's a sunny 73 degrees. I have an announcement.
Push the social media handles, push the Gmail, push it, push advertise it.
Push what now? And how do I push it? Do I push it real good?
You're going to want to push it better than okay, so like real good.
Okay. What's the name of the show?
It's Watson&James. Don't play.
And today we're not playing Tiny Toon Adventures.
That's true. 1991's Tiny Toon Adventures.
This makes me so happy. Oh, my controller working now? Oh, no.
You know what doesn't
Did
make
it
James
already
happy?
crap out?
It's when it craps out immediately.
Oh, jeez, man.
Which is,
Oh, jeez,
I'm
Rick.
going to say approximately 90% of the time.
Oh, no, I fixed it. All right, we're in. We're in, baby.
It's good. It's all good.
Oh, my God.
So why...
All right,
Why Tiny
we're
Toons
back.
Adventures is what I'm going to ask you, because of course I said yes when you brought it up, but why? What sparked this?
You made a post the other day on the Twitter, didn't you? About Tiny Toon Adventures?
I think I retweeted something. Somebody
Why?
else was playing it on an actual like old TV and everything.
Oh, okay. That's
And
what
it
we're
just
doing.
looked really
Are you
good.
kidding me? This is genuine hardware. It's not an emulator at all.
Well, sure, but the post that I showed, you could see the actual television.
Oh,
and
okay.
Stuff.
Yeah, this is.
Our Sega is back. You can't see
Ow.
it. You can't see it.
Yeah, because we're playing on a Sega. This is a Nintendo game,
I don't remember.
and I
anything.
think that they used the Mario 3 engine or something like that because it plays.
Oh, do you think?
Yeah, it
Do
plays.
you think that's exactly what they
it
did?
plays. Now I'm the duck. What was the duck's
Plucky.
name?
Plucky.
Plucky. Plucky was great.
And that, don't ask any other obscure character names. That's the only one I had
No,
loaded.
we got a Buster Bunny. We have Babs Bunny. Mm-hmm. We have Plucky.
Elvira.
We have that weirdo. Oh, geez.
Maximilian.
All right, Elvira.
The little rich
Maxim-
kid.
The humans, right?
The humans.
Yeah, the humans were always like, hang on, why
They're tertiary at best.
Yeah. No, who was the... It wasn't Gonzo. That wasn't his name.
No, Gonzo was on the Muppet Show.
Gonzo
you
was on the
idiot.
Muppets. Who are you?
Oh,
The tiny vulture.
I don't remember his name, but he was real depressed, remember?
Yeah.
I honestly, I remember the Pinky and the Brain bits because of Pinky and the Brain and Elvira and that kind of thing. I didn't watch a ton of Tiny Toons, the TV show. I watched the movie, How I Spent My Summer Vacation.
Dude,
I played the game.
I lived for Tiny Toons when I was a kid.
It's a great show. I always enjoyed it. I just didn't happen to catch it a ton in the afternoons. I feel like it came on maybe right before I got home from school or something because
Right.
I always caught Batman and I always caught like Freakazoid and the other shows, but for some reason not as much Tiny Toons.
It's weird that like cartoons like this, and even today to a certain degree.
What's the pig's name?
Oh crap! I
Is it
don't
just
remember.
Ham?
Ham. I think that's what it
Is
was.
it just Ham?
Your name is Ham, sir.
That's
Hampton. I think his
straight-
name was. I think his name was
Yes,
Hampton.
I believe you're correct. It was short for Hampton, which
Hampton.
is just disrespectful. It's like one step away from being like, we're calling you, you know what I mean?
I like how he's like, "How many carrots do you have?" Not enough. Try to get more.
Anyway, what were you saying before I interrupted you with the pig question?
A lot of cartoons, just in general, kids shows, have kind of adult themes to them, or adult undertones at least.
Ideally, they strike some kind of balance.
Right, and that's usually the sign of a good show. The modern one that comes to mind is Adventure Time. What are you doing, man?
Adventure Time gets steroids, it looks like.
Oh, jeez,
Steroids and killing you.
he killed the shit. out
There
of
was
me.
that Mario engine. You really saw it in
Yeah.
that.
They're like, so Mario 3, right? We're gonna go ahead and take that and use it for our.
We're going to go
own-
ahead and reskin that. So we're going to take that away from them. I think you're right. I think Adventure Time gets cited a lot nowadays as being kind of a prime example.
And it's got Bender in it. I mean, Bender's great.
I think...
What's his name again?
I think John DiMaggio.
That's it. Thank you.
I think The Simpsons kind of carried that baton for a while, where it was kind of
In between.
in between. Like, if the kids loved Bart, great, but let's face it, most of the jokes were aimed more at 20 and 30-something-year-olds.
So one thing that I think's missing from, I guess, modern kids cartoons, there aren't many pop culture references anymore. Or maybe I'm just not watching it anymore. There's references to things that exist in pop culture, but not specific IPs.
Oh, you mean it's not like in the Space Jam movie where they do a Pulp Fiction reference?
Yeah, none of that.
You're not getting a lot of that nowadays in Adventure Time and things like that.
Oh, is this a boss? Oh my god!
Elvira is absolutely going to squeeze you to death if you don't get
I was
it
gonna
together.
say.
She has a skull in her hair.
Okay,
Like,
you
she's-
can't just step on her.
No.
Oh, that's it? Okay.
I think you just have to avoid her for a certain amount of
Oh,
time.
I think
or
that was a
something like
bonus.
that.
I think that was just
maybe yeah, you get a bonus if you do it. I don't remember.
Hi, I'm Shirley the Loon. I'm a fortune teller.
You know-
I remember the voice. How do I remember her voice?
Because it's a very Valley Girl kind of voice, which again is a pop culture reference.
And they did
But-
the one that I remember for Shirley the most is the Carrie episode where she goes full on Carrie. It's great.
Do you remember the television show The Critic?
I do, yeah.
You want to talk pop culture references? That's all that show was.
Every now and then I go, I'm feeling disgruntled.
I love it.
And then he gets out of the way and the postman's like, now I got my swinging room. Yeah, all he wanted to do was swing on the subway.
So I love John Lovitz.
Also, if you think I suck at this game, you're right.
You are
I'm-
correct, sir.
Here's
the
the
blue
thing.
balloons,
Trying
for
to,
some
like-
reason, are like a memory of mine. I remember pieces of this game, but then it feels so much like
I feel like I'm doing
Kirby
this-
games and Mario games and stuff that I am forgetting some stuff.
Hang on, I feel like we did this level already. All the game
1,000% did this level already.
the game is blending together, man.
The game is one long side scroller, and it doesn't get a whole lot different than this.
Some games you play and you wonder yourself, you're like, hang on,
Wait, a
this is
minute.
just repeating itself.
Even I'm noticing it.
You're like, this feels a little like
Like that's laziness if I'm noticing it, because I don't normally harp on that kind of thing. I'm willing to give a lot of game developers a lot of leeway because it's hard to make a game that even functions.
yeah. I'm
But
doing
stage one
stage
is
1-1.
pretty clear that you that one's on you, man.
I don't know why I did that. I have to play all of them now too. I got to redo the whole thing.
Fantastic.
Now I'm plucky. Oh man, good quality content
You
here.
got it, Plucky.
Quantent with a capital Q.
Quality content.
Quality
season.
content. One thing I don't see referenced very much in really any show, or maybe I'm just not paying attention, is I don't see a lot of David Lynch references, but maybe I'm missing them.
You're missing them.
Okay, I had a feeling I was. Or I'm
Gonna
just
go
not.
ahead and be pretentious as fuck and say you're missing them.
Well, that's fine. I just don't really pay attention that much, or I'm
You
just not.
shouldn't pay attention and look for references. I think the best references are ones that
stick with you?
are not distracting from whatever the thing is that you're watching. Like, okay, a good example of a reference to David Lynch even is in the 2-part Who Shot Mr. Burns episode of The Simpsons.
Okay.
So that
Yeah. See, I
so in season
I barely know what you're talking about.
so I'm gonna don't worry, I'm gonna go into too much detail about it.
Oh my god. This
Just
is
avoid
terrifying.
her.
I'm going to.
Avoid her. See, that's what this teaches
Maybe I
young
have to-
boys. See the girl runs at you and just wants to love you, run from her.
Okay,
that's
so-
how you
and
win
then we have to
fortunes.
exit.
That's how you win. Anyway,
Congratulations.
anyway,
That was
made
deep.
this game, fucking Jordan Peterson. Fuck. So they're trying to figure out who shot Mr. Burns in The Simpsons, right? It's a cliffhanger for the season. There's a contest that they ran. Like, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if you remember that, but it was a big
Kind of.
big deal. When they came back in season 7 and did part 2 to finish it up,
Yeah.
they made Chief Wiggum fall asleep and have a direct David Lynch parody dream in which a small backwards talking Lisa tells him cryptic things. And there's another one where Homer is watching TV and he says, I love this show. I don't understand anything that's happening. And you see he's watching a horse like dancing in the moonlight under a stoplight, and it's very like Twin Peaks music plays.
Sure,
and
yeah.
It's obviously Twin Peaks. That kind of stuff in its heyday, like the Pulp Fiction
Oh.
thing. You know what I mean? When it's in the zeitgeist and people are talking about it, then you see a lot more references. Nowadays, you'll see subtler nods. It's more, I think whoever wrote this was influenced by him.
Yeah.
Or whoever did the cinematography clearly is influenced by certain things. It's a little less, here's a parody, or here's a joke about it.
I just realized there's a run button in this game. I'm an idiot. Of course there is. It's a Mario game, but it's not a Mario game. It's
Right.
Tiny Toons.
It's Tiny Mario.
Holy
Tiny
jeez.
Toons. So I think that's why when you say you're not seeing them, that's more what it is. I think it's just gotten more
they're
sophisticated.
just slipping by me.
They're just they're just there without being there. You know, it's like how
But that's
many
the- that's the
bands
way that-
have
that's-
influenced bands that you like that you wouldn't even necessarily know.
That's
you know?
how David Lynch kind of operates, though. Is
That's
that
exactly how he operates.
he wants you to miss things. He does things on purpose because he hopes that you don't see them.
He wants.
That's kind of how he functions on his YouTube channel too. He goes, "The weather today in Los Angeles, it's a sunny 73 degrees. I have an announcement."
Somehow he never crosses into that territory for me where he feels like he's even like making any of it up. It all feels so deeply authentic from him that even
that's
the
just
weather
the-
report is kind of art.
It is art.
You
It's
know what I
absolutely
mean?
art.
Like it's a very weird, convoluted kind of thing. But
I look at it like this. I see it as a celebrity trying to see what he can get away with.
no,
Saying-
I don't even look at it that way. That's even a little more
Do you think that's a little almost?
because that doesn't
kinda
feel
mean?
authentic. That feels like
Oh,
he
no.
would even care about being a celebrity. I don't even think it's that. I think he genuinely cares about the weather report.
He's really worried about.
How
the
about
weather.
that? Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like,
I do,
think
yeah.
it's authentically him trying to share something with us, even if it's the weather or the hope for the day or the new painting he's working on or whatever snippets he shows in that
Today-
kind of thing.
Today's number 8, the number of the day.
Swirl the balls.
Swirl the balls. If you don't know what we're talking about, just go to David Lynch's YouTube channel and catch up on the weather.
And catch up on the weather.
Catch
I'm
up on the numbers of the
excited to
days.
see if he continues the weather reports while he's at the
What?
Cannes
No,
Film
you can't
Festival.
just do that. You can't just show up and start smacking me around.
I'll say it looks like they're triggered when you go into the.
Yeah, I saw it.
you know.
I figured it
Did
out.
you figure it out?
Yeah. yeah.
All right.
I figured out the child's game.
What wing of the Mario Castle is this? I don't remember this.
Right? Aw.
Oh, you figured it out. Did you figure it out, or
No,
did
because
you die?
it's completely random. Are you kidding me? There's no checkpoint. I just have to start over. Oh boy, this is rough.
This is rough.
I like how I'm immediately just not good at this. I'm not good at a lot, but I'm really not good at this game.
But I'm especially not good at this.
I'm trying to think of like other David Lynch movies that I haven't seen yet because I think the catalog is bigger than I thought that it was. Because one that I
Do you want
have
to go
been,
through them? We can go through them.
So, no, well-
I mean, he hasn't made that many movies. We can go through them.
we watched, you and I watched it. We actually hung out like people. The other
We
night.
hung out IRL.
There was no like
We weren't on Zoom.
we weren't recording anything. We're
We
like,
weren't being paid to be there.
hang on, we have to actually spend time with one another without creating something. That's
We
weird.
weren't doing it. Well, yes, we weren't doing it for this, but it's nice that it's going to be used here.
Yeah, and we watched Blue Velvet finally. I'd never
You
seen.
say we. You watched Blue Velvet finally. I forced it on you, A Clockwork Orange style.
I avoided it because I was afraid that it was going to be what I read about, which is just this
I don't
weird.
even know what that means. What did you read about it?
I heard all. I've always heard that Blue Velvet was just this weird, like sexploitation film.
Really?
Yeah,
Is that the buzz?
that's the buzz on
It's
it.
not a.
I heard
erotic
it-
thriller noir.
I heard it wasn't very good, and that it was just weird, like
wow.
David Lynch being like a sex addict.
Maybe I'm shielded from some of that because people who
I think
know
probably.
me know not to negatively talk about that kind of stuff around me.
So I just never watched it. They're like, they always said that's the one David Lynch film that you shouldn't watch.
What?
And I don't know who they is.
In
all
my
right? I have
opinion,
nothing to
it's
back this up
probably
with.
top 3 of his movies.
Really like top 3 best movies.
Top 3 of his that I return to, and probably top 3 that I think quality wise.
I died at the same place. I can't believe this. This is embarrassing. Here's the controller.
You're good. So
Hang
talk to me
on,
because
real
I'm
quick.
gonna save you.
That's the B button and that's the A button.
I'm gonna save you from your own bad taste in movies and from this level. Let's do it.
So we watched Blue Velvet,
Died.
and I'm watching it, and I'm waiting for the bad. You know what I mean?
You're waiting for it to tip and for you to start seeing what people are talking about.
Because I know that Dennis Hopper's going to show up. I know that he's going to be Frank, and I know that he's going to do what he did, or what he does rather. What Frank is want to do. And hi, I'm Shirley the Loon. I'm a fortune teller. See you later. Check out my lumps. No, that's you're starting the whole thing over now.
Yeah, I wanted to be the Tasmanian devil.
All right, hell yeah.
Plucky ain't doing so great.
No, Plucky sucks. You suck, Plucky. And the movie starts out, and I'm like, all right, this is kind of a slow burn.
Right, it's moody. It is slow. There's
And
not a lot
it
of
starts
dialogue at the beginning.
It starts out weird, and then it gets kind of nice, and then it stays nice, and then the bad happens.
The weird quote unquote happens.
But it didn't make me feel dirty necessarily.
And then how does it end? This is something that you commented to me on, which I had never even thought about.
Oh, really?
Until this watching. But what did you say to me?
So any kind of David Lynch stuff, any kind of weird movie, they always just kind of end on a note.
They end where they end.
They end where they end, and it's like, all right, I don't have any closure, and you have to interpret what happened in the movie.
Exactly. It doesn't necessarily give you anything. It just leaves you.
They put a bow on that movie.
They really put a bow on that movie.
Yeah, David Lynch said, this is the story that I have to tell, and this is how it ends. There's a beginning, there's a climax,
and then there's pretty much a closing for every character.
And then there's a resolution.
You know, it doesn't leave you hanging, oh, what happened to so-and-so that we never saw again, or what, you know.
One thing that it does that
it gives you enough that you can kind of put together what happened to everybody.
That is very Lynchian is that the entire movie you're seeing through the character, or you look through the eyes of Kyle MacLachlan's character.
Jeffrey Beaumont.
Yeah, Jeffrey Beaumont. And you kind of know what's going on. You're given these images and you stumble upon these, I guess, the aftermath of certain events.
Right.
And you just kind of have to piece
pieces that he sees and drawing a certain amount of conclusions, but also, forced to follow his conclusions.
And that's what's neat about it is that the movie somehow simultaneously forces you to come to your own conclusions and also concludes on its own terms, which is incredible. I don't know if you've ever heard that interpretation before, but that's what I got out of the movie is that the movie is up for interpretation and it also completely is not up for interpretation.
I wholeheartedly endorse that take on this movie.
Okay. Is that one you've heard before, or is that...
I mean, not necessarily in those terms.
Okay.
I think what happens is a lot of times people... There's almost two camps.
Oh, you suck.
I know, he got me. There's almost two camps in that regard for these kind of movies, where some people get mad when they think that it has to be almost open to interpretation for it to be sufficiently artsy enough.
That's stupid.
That is stupid, and there's a certain type of pretentious film Twitter person that enjoys that kind of thing.
We could name names, but we're not going to.
I'm not going to name names because I don't follow them, so I ain't going to name them. Why do I give a shit?
Hell yeah.
It's one of those things where if you want to have a real talk about it, yeah, the film works. It's not like you're debating the actual plot. You can go A, B, C, this is what happens. Whereas some David Lynch movies, you go, I'm not even sure if we saw the same thing or interpreting it the same way. You know, a lot of it's open in that way.
And then some David Lynch movies, you watch and you go, okay, this is not what he had in mind at all. And the studio got deeply involved.
Yeah. Dune.
I'm talking about Dune, baby.
Probably the biggest.
They were talking about Dune.
He never gave up Final Cut again.
Yeah. Of course not.
He learned that the hardest of ways.
Better watch out. Elvira's going to get you. Are you kidding? You can just spin by her?
I can.
Oh, that's awesome. Dizzy Devil's the shit, though.
I like how it just froze. That's all.
There are 6 worlds in this game. We are still in the first world.
I'm going to try the cat because I think he's the cutest character.
She's not a duck. She's a loon.
What's the cat? What's the cat's name? Remember the sad cat with the little...
I don't remember.
The little bandaged ear.
I'm looking it up.
He's always my favorite.
He's got a bandage on his tail, I think.
Bandage on the tail, piece of his ear out. Yeah.
Tiny Toons, characters, David Lynch.
Sad cat. Sad cat.
I was gonna... Here we go. We have Buster Bunny, Elmira Duff. Elmira, not Elvira.
Poverty Kitten.
Elmira. Calamity Coyote. Hampton J. Pig. Got that one right.
Nailed it.
Little Beeper. Montana Max.
Montana Max. We were saying Maximilian.
Maximilian. That's a Mighty Max that you're thinking of?
I know.
Bugs Bunny, obviously. Okay. Plucky Duck. FIFA La Fume. That's the skunk. Mm-hmm. That's the girl skunk. Concord Condor.
Oh, yeah. That's the vulture.
Babs Bunny, Desi Devil.
There he is.
Barky Marky. He's the little puppy dog thing.
Stupid.
Shirley the Loon. Sweetie Bird.
Yeah.
Marsha the Martian.
Yeah.
Go-Go Dodo. That's who I was thinking of. That's the little weird-looking guy. It's getting deep here. Dr. Gene Splicer. Who are you? Furball. There we go.
Thank you.
That's what I was looking for.
That
Go
was
all the way
pretty
down.
far Wow.
That was pretty far down, yeah. Also, Duck Vader.
I remember.
Obviously.
I remember.
You got to have Darth Vader in there. I was listening to Weird Al the other day, as I do from time to time.
Check our earlier episodes.
Yeah, dude. I was doing literally anything and listening to Weird Al in the background. And Yoda came on, and I love the line where he says, the long-term contract I had to sign said I'll be making these movies to the end of time.
Oh,
and
what?
Mark Hamill, you're still Luke Skywalker.
Sorry, that was just
That was some
kicked
BS.
me, and then it kicked me to a point where I couldn't even jump out of it.
We are not built for these old games.
I am. I'm just not paying that much attention because you're interesting, buddy.
It's hard to talk about stuff and play games at the same time. We thought it was going to be easy, so that's what we called the show Don't
that's
Play.
Why I let you, that's why I let
Oh,
you
that's a
come
neat
up.
trick.
Did you not know I could do that?
No.
That I can do.
These guys all have all special abilities and
Did you
everything.
not, are you not utilizing the special? Is that why you always pick Plucky?
Apparently not. What's Plucky's special ability?
I don't think
Nothing.
he doesn't do much good.
I mean, he didn't do much good in the show either, so. Oof.
Scathing indictment of Plucky. All right, you. Don't be a dick. All right, I got him.
What are we talking about?
We were talking about
Massive pause where
Maximilian.
Maximilian.
Because that's what we were doing, is we were just going through the character names. But we were also talking about David Lynch and all kinds of fun stuff.
So you got my now I got a bit. The controller just got handed back to me, and you're like,
it
all right,
didn't.
all right, have fun. No, it didn't. No one's playing right now. No one is actually here.
No one's played that game in 40
away from
years.
me. That game's haunted. Ooh.
So we're excited about Cannes this year because apparently we're getting a new David Lynch movie.
I don't care about Cannes.
Cronenberg movie? Are you excited about Crimes of the Future?
I'm excited about David Lynch, and I'm excited about Crimes of the Future, a new David Cronenberg film. I thought David Cronenberg was dead.
Wow, you massive piece of shit. You know what's going to happen now? I'm going to punish you by making you watch 1996's Crash.
You showed me the trailer today.
I'm going to make you watch it because I bought the Criterion, and no one will watch it with me.
I have
I
access.
watch it a couple times a year.
So the other day when we were going to watch Blue Velvet, you were like, "All right, you got the Chromecast," and I said, "I have a TV that you can cast to." So we figured out how to do that, and wasn't working on his phone. So now I have access on my phone.
Yeah, I just let you sign it
to his Criterion account. I know everything now. The first thing I saw, they were like, "You want to Planet of the Apes?" And I was like, "Yes, I do want to watch Planet
That's
of the Apes."
how they get you. They're like, Planet of the Apes, Eraserhead. Come on, these are fun.
Come on, these are fun,
And
man.
then before you know it, you're watching Rashomon and 8.5 and
How
Mr.
deep-
Hewlett's Holiday. It's gonna be great.
How deep does the rabbit hole go?
I'm going to show you, Mr. Anderson.
Follow the white rabbit.
Fuck the White Rabbit.
Someone at work told me today. They said, so I rewatched The Matrix recently, and they said to me, they go, it wasn't very good.
The first one?
The first one, and I'm like, well, what about it didn't you like? And then he just walked away because we were at work. But I'm sure that he had reasons, and I kind of want to hear them. But
I don't know. It's a pretty tight science fiction action movie. Like even on the surfaceiest of levels, like the Matrix kind of just works.
Do you think it kind of objectively is good?
It's kind of awesome.
What do you think the David Lynch? We're still in David Lynch in Lynch's corner.
We're
here.
always in Lynch's corner.
Lynch's corner. What do you think is the most objectively good David Lynch movie? Just a well-made movie. Oh God, they just got crazy on me. I cannot get past this part.
Do you mean like in an artistic achievement sort of way, or in a this is a movie that people can actually watch?
Everyone will enjoy if you put it in front of someone.
Oh, The Straight Story.
The Straight Story is what it's called.
It's straight up a Disney movie. You can watch it on Disney Plus right now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's a beautiful movie.
Break it down for me. What's it about? Give me a brief synopsis, if you will.
Old man drives a lawnmower a long way.
Oh,
That's it. That's all I'm going to tell you about it.
okay. I gotta go watch it now.
You
That's
should.
exactly
You
what's gonna happen.
absolutely should watch it. And
I've been trying to get deeper on Disney Plus because
you should. You
They're-
absolutely need to dig into old Kurt Russell, old Haley Mills movies. Buddy Hackett shows up in I think all 3 of the Herbie movies. Like, what are you doing,
Buddy Wackett.
Buddy Hackett?
Sorry. Wow.
Yeah, you deserved that, Dad.
Oh, jeez.
For mocking Buddy Wackett.
No, that was the issue with Disney Plus when it came out that I've heard people say is that there was too much content. There was too much to choose from. And I'm like, you could say that about any streaming service because go on Netflix and go about...
Except for Crackle. There's not enough on Crackle.
No, there's nothing on Crackle. Crackle has Seinfeld, and you're like, why
Seinfeld's leaving? Well, we're packing up, boys. We're done.
Hey, we're done here, boys. Let's go home. You go about, I'd say, 4 or 5 levels down on Netflix, and you're like, okay, I'm in the foreign film section.
You're in the
And
weeds hard.
There's tons of stuff to watch on here. Whether or not you want to watch it is different. But Disney usually has, even the older Disney movies that no one knows about, there's usually a certain quality to it.
I'm sorry, who knows about them?
That you can enjoy. You know about them.
Thank you.
Yeah, because you grew up with that.
I grew up with that
Like
exclusively almost.
I have a chest Wow. I have a chest down on my basement, and it's just chock full of. Wow, we suck. It is just.
See, you keep commenting on it like people are coming for all-star speed runs.
I know, right? Who should I do now? I want to do Dizzy Devil. There we go. And it's all the animated ones, and it's usually from. A lot of them are from the Disney Renaissance period.
Which Disney Renaissance? Because I think they've had 3.
The 90s one.
Okay.
The early 90s one, where Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Little Mermaid, that kind of stuff. You know, the ones that everyone knows.
The one that Waking Cinderella?
The ones
that
where
documentary is based on?
Your Aunt Brittany sings it at karaoke when she's had too many margaritas.
What is that? What is that called?
It's Aunt Brittany with an eye, of course it is.
Brittany with 2 eyes.
2 eyes. She just cannot hold her liquor. And she starts singing Little Mermaid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just the way it goes, and everyone has a good time, except her husband.
Well, her husband hasn't had a good time since the 80s.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. So that's the one that I'm most familiar with, and those are the ones that I have on VHS. It's just a massive collection of animated Disney. But you grew up with different Disney movies.
I grew up with those, the ones you just talked about.
Okay.
I also grew up with the live-action Disney movies, the live-action Disney TV shows.
Oh, jeez. Can you not right now? It's not.
It's not a great time for a bunch of Great Danes to come in
Give me that.
with water bottles
Oh my God.
and just destroy them in the most charmingly befuddling way.
I will give it back to you a moment. She's
You
like,
can have it in a bit. She is
she's like,
so
I can't-
confused as to why we just took
she's
that
like,
from
why
her.
did you do that? I was having a lot of fun.
You guys are jerks.
She's come to take it. She's like,
She will
you better,
absolutely take that
You better
from you.
give that back.
So, that like when I asked you, I was being serious. Which Disney Renaissance? Because in my mind, they've had at least 3. You know,
Right.
because my experience with Disney, it's so beyond all this. I've never been to Disneyland or World. I'm not that kind of.
I haven't
person.
either because it's expensive.
I'm not what they call an adult Disney fan or anything like that. But
no, I'm an adult Disney fan.
I have been somewhat searching my whole life for other people who watched Now You See 'Em, Now You Don't. The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes.
Have you found
$1
them yet?
Million
'Cause
Duck.
that's not me.
The Ugly Dachshund. If any of those movies, and those are all fantastic movies, I can't stress this enough.
Someone the other day, by the way, they saw your tape of the Ugly Dachshund and they got super excited.
Exactly. It's that one in like 10,000 person who goes, "Oh, core memory unlocked. I remember.
He was
this
he
Great
was
Dane."
ecstatic. He's like, I love this movie, and I
It's
go,
so-
okay,
It's so good.
I believe you.
The wife wants to show her dachshunds.
Right.
And that emasculates the husband, who's a professional artist, by the way. He has a studio where he apparently just does everything. He sculpts, he paints, he draws. Like, he just has a quote-unquote art studio.
Anything
so
you
he
can-
just, I think you come in at one point, he's glass blowing, and you're like, okay, that's not how this works.
Just has a glass blowing set up in his basement.
But anyway, so it emasculates him for her to have these little cutesy dachshunds and stuff. So
What a weird time that was.
he finagles the vet into basically being like, hey, this runt of a Great Dane needs a home.
Okay.
What if I home him with my new dachshund puppies?
Is he going to try to pass the...
And he passes it off as long as he can. And then eventually the wife's like, that's a Great Dane. And it's a whole...
and
cute-
he says, of course it is, you dumb bitch!
But it's a Great Dane raised by dachshunds. So he like tries to be all small. Oh, it's great. His name's Brutus. That's his name. Because he's supposed to be all regal. The dad's trying to make him as butch as possible.
Sure.
And it's all about them kind of competing in these dog shows. while
This
the
is my
dogs just
Butch
get into
Dane.
shenanigans.
This is my Butch name named Butch.
Oh, and meanwhile, the dachshunds are terrible. They always get Brutus into trouble.
Of course they do.
Classic Disney shenanigans where animals like string yarn all over the room or wreck the art studio. And oh no, it looks like it was the Dane's fault.
That poor dog.
Anyway, it's that kind of movie.
I want to see it now. It sounds great.
It's delightful.
It does sound delightful.
Same main character as $1 Million Duck.
Oh, all right.
Guess the plot of that movie.
So these are all the old live-action Disney movies, right?
There's some of them, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And there's tons of them, too.
There's so many. So many.
And Disney wasn't always really that nice to their actors, were they?
No, they ruined a lot of them's lives.
Yeah, which is a weird thing to think about.
Yeah, I'm glad we're ending this episode on a high note.
That's
Great.
If Disney has ruined your life, let us know in the comments.
Hey, remember when they bullied that queer actor out of Hollywood and pretty much to death? Which
Yeah.
time, you ask? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We love you. We love you, old Disney stars. We love.
God, it's that doctor I was talking about.
Oh, with the lips.
Oh, he's horrible.
Oh, this is how we're ending it. In a skate park from hell, baby.
Oh my God. Oh, you can't hit him.
Oh no!
You just have to
All right,
avoid
do
him.
your power. Do your power. Yeah. Oh, the
All
power
right.
doesn't even work.
All right,
All right.
We're done.
Well, we
here.
learned.
It would mean a lot to me if you liked this. It'd be a lot. It'd mean a lot to us if you hit the little bell in the thing.
Yeah.
That's
That's true.
The more times that happens,
The more of these we can make.
the more people see us, because this is hemorrhaging money.
Yeah. Oh god. Just do you know what the rights to these characters cost?
It ain't cheap, baby.
You think I could just say Plucky Duck for free? You think I could? No. That's another 10 grand right there.
I'm coming for you, Plucky.